Boy, lots to talk about. Okay, so I'm getting my morning routine going as I usually do. One of the things about there's some secrets for health. I've been talking about them, and I gotta say, I think what's actually starting to happen is I'm starting to notice even doctors starting to talk about it finally. And right now, first things first, let's clean the water. This is one thing that I don't see too many doctors talking about. It's clean water. Why clean water? Well, guys, I don't know. I think preventative care is where it's at because I think most of the problems we have we actually cause to ourselves. Right now, there's a lot of talk about kids having all sorts of medical issues, which the data's out there. It's pretty wild, and it's really linked a lot to sugar. I know that sugar is just one thing, but see, this is what I mean by preventative care. You prevent putting all this sugar into your body. You can prevent putting processed food with, again, more sugar into your body. But you can also prevent putting terrible water into your body, and that will make a difference, in my opinion. None of this is medical advice or not making any medical claims, but this is my water routine. Why? Well, I just like clean water. For those of you who don't know, I'm a germaphobe. I don't want to be drinking water. I mean, it's funny. I show people how to clean water, and there's a tank, because it leaves all the impurities behind. And when people look in the tank, who this method that I'm doing right now, which is basically carbon distillation to clean. I'm talking about everything out of your water. I mean, there are so many gross things in water. It's kind of unbelievable, actually, the stuff that's in our water. And the amount of things in the water and that you're putting in your mouth and drinking into your body, it's pretty gross. And so, I'm a little bit into clean water. It's not just clean water, though, clean food too, just cleanliness in general. Okay, so doing the water routine. So I seal these jars up like this with the cleanest water. And when I say cleanest, we're talking like people think that a carbon filter will filter everything. No. People think that an RO filter will filter everything. No. They do okay, but we're talking like, again, I want my water ridiculously clean. But it removes everything, which means it also removes minerals. And I'm going to add, I just put one drop. I don't use a ton of minerals in my water. I mostly use them in my smoothies, which I'm about to make the breakfast smoothie. And then let's see here. This is the water right here. I actually take RO water and put it in this tank for my distiller, my carbon distiller. I don't need to use the carbon part though when I use the RO, which is kind of nice. And you seal this sucker up because it works better when it's under pressure. And I mean, we're talking about cleaning all viruses, bacterias, parasites, worms, everything out of water. All chemicals, all pharmaceuticals, all heavy metals, all the garbage. And it takes a while. See, now I'm going to turn this on. And it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. That's why I turn it on at night, and that's why I package. I put all my water in my jugs. That right there will make a big difference. The other magical difference, there's a lot of things that can help. It's really important to protect and not have issues in regards to blood glucose. That is a major, major problem. It's been a problem. I mean, I've talked about it a lot before, but there are ways to help you naturally. Like part of one of the things I just did already, which you guys didn't see because I didn't start the camera yet, is I drank my hydrogen water in the morning. That's always the first thing I do. I've seen it. Again, I'm not making any medical claims or anything, but I personally have seen it regulate blood glucose. And I'm like, whoa, that was one of the reasons that I had a doctor contact me one time because their patient who was diabetic and they just couldn't believe what hydrogen was doing. They're like, what is this stuff, So right now I'm going to make a multi-nutrient smoothie. Why? Because this is how I get all my nutrients. And it's like my multivitamin. And you know what's sad? I think this is the last day because I'm out of powder. And I like this. The reason I use this powder, this Purium powder from iShopPurium.com, is because our food is deficient. That's all there is to that. Our food is deficient. There's no way you're going to get all your nutrients. And this supplements. It's a bunch of superfoods in a powder, and I like food-based stuff. I'm just going to put the rest of that in there. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I clearly don't have enough of this in there today. I think I gotta go look real quick. Sorry, guys. I think I might have something I can put in there. I thought I was all out of my nutritional powders, but I gotta check real quick, see if I have any left over here. And I do not, from the looks of it. Where are you? Nope, we are gonna have to be a little short today. Well, that's too bad. Because how about this one? Let me see here. This stuff was really good. Nope, all out. Okay, I guess we're all out here. Well, we use what we can today. Excuse me. All right, well, this is going to be the first day that I'm going to be short on my powders. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, let's see here. Johnny Ace Fitness says, I'm having problems with cramping during workouts and I drink only distilled water. Any help? I've been drinking distilled water for 5 months now and it's finally happening. Was he or she a type 1 diabetic? Yes, type 1. I know, it's pretty amazing. What is the name of the nutrient powder in the company? So the website is iShopPurium.com. The one I like to use is Power Shake. I use the appleberry flavor. If you want a $50 coupon, the coupon code is uprising144K. But yeah, I like this stuff because when I always look at ingredients and I look at the nutritional label and really good nutrients, and it's all from food. And this is my favorite one. I've tried numerous powders throughout the years. The reason I like this one is it's clean, but man, I gotta tell you guys, the products that these guys have, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I've been using this other one recently, which is, I can show it to you. It's really unbelievable. And I'm putting some raw cacao in here too. I'm also realizing that I'm out of my flaxseed. So sometimes you just, you're out of certain ingredients, and that's okay. You do what you can, and so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do what we can. Let's see here. I'll show you. What was I gonna show you guys? Oh, this stuff's awesome too. This is another product they have. This one's unbelievable. Berry protein, but the ingredients in this are all from berries, and the color and the smell, everything is just like real food. And I've seen their lab tests. They, a lot of stuff has pesticides in it, even when it's organic. So these guys are really big on the purity of things. I think that's why they named their company Purium. But that's something that I'm really big on, is the purity of things. So I do a lot of homework to try to find good products, because I'm not a fan of a lot of products out there. It's the same thing for clean water. It's the same thing for clean hydrogen. I just like everything really pure because I find that helps me heal better. How is her type 1 diabetes right now? I'm type 1 diabetic. Yeah, she was able to. I'll answer a second. Can you show me the label? Hard to understand what you said. Really? Okay. Here's a label. It's from iShopPurium.com. I don't know what else to say. It's Power Shake. That's the product. I mean, they have a lot of good products. In fact, that's what I was going to show you. I was going to show you this other one that they've got that I've been using. Now, this one I'm just using for nighttime. I guess it's supposed to help you sleep. I've been sleeping extremely good, but that's this one. Apothecary. Man, this stuff, guys, it's unbelievable. I mean, I really got to give it to this company. I really am becoming a fan. Their products are really good. I mean, this stuff tastes just like pure cherries. And I've tried other types of like cherry juices, for example. But man, that stuff, it's just impressive. That's all. Good company. I like good companies. And look at this. I'm out of everything, guys. This is ridiculous, actually. Do I really not have any greens? This is going to be This is going to be one of my worst smoothies ever, just watch. But that's okay, I'm still going to do it. And then today I'll just grocery shopping. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Greg, I've got a. Oh, wait a second. Let's answer type 1 diabetes. Yeah, she's doing good. So type 1 diabetes, I mean, there's going to be some new technologies that come out in the future that I believe will resolve the issue. But as of right now, the lady that, for example, the type 1 diabetes, she's able to use hydrogen in such a way. I remember she tried numerous methods for hydrogen and they weren't working for her. And she ended up finding my channel and she's like, well, I guess I'll try this. He's saying it's the best. And that's what really showed me that it really does matter how you make hydrogen. Not all hydrogen is created equal, in my opinion. Definitely not. And I saw the biggest difference. I mean, I saw the difference in myself too. But I saw the difference with this particular woman who is type 1 diabetic. And she was able to go without using insulin. I think she either didn't use any insulin or very little after using the hydrogen properly and creating some protocols. And that's when her doctor noticed, and her doctor was just completely blown away. And he started tracking her for almost half a year. And he had been her doctor for, I think, like 30 years or something, like a long time. And basically, he just couldn't believe what he was seeing. He's like, I just cannot believe what I'm seeing here. He's like, this is technically, it shouldn't even be possible what I'm witnessing. And then that's when he asked her, he's like, how did you do this? And she told him, there's this guy on YouTube. And he was like, there's no guy on YouTube showing you how to do this. No way. He said, this is like worthy of a Nobel Prize. And he was just so blown away by it. But yeah, fiber also, like right here, I'm going to show you guys how to see most people. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of data coming out, and doctors are finally, I started noticing today actually, that doctors are starting to talk about it on YouTube channels. I've been talking about it forever. I don't know, you're going to notice a pattern at some point that usually these guys are late to catch up. But I try to bring you guys most of the best medical data that I find in regards to caring for your health is actually from Japan, of all places. But they're really into their health there. And they made some very big discoveries about fiber. And fiber is kind of blowing my mind lately, but I've been using it for a long time anyway, just because fruits and vegetables. But invented these smoothies and they're pretty unique and they do so many things. I mean, they do more than just one thing. It's not just about fiber. It's also about getting nutrients from foods. You can see that this salad is going bad. That's why I'm picking off all the bad spots. This is going to take a little while today. But you really need to check out, like, be cautious with processed sugars. It's causing a lot of health problems. And try to make sure to get enough fiber, which is honestly, according to researchers, no joke, according to researchers, they think it's impossible. When they realize how much fiber the human body needs, and that tells you something, guys. What does that tell you? To me, it tells us that the human body is clearly designed to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables because the body just needs so much fiber. I mean, again, the amount of fiber that it requires is just ridiculous, really. And so, even researchers who saw data clearly pointing to the fact that we need a lot of fiber basically was like, you know what? Nobody's going to be able to consume this amount of fiber. So, the numbers that they chose, the government, as far as when they tell us how much nutrients we need and how much of this or how much of that, it's the minimum. They're giving you the minimum amount of fiber required by the human body. Now, let me tell you something. Minimum, how many Americans get the minimum amount of fiber? Less than 3%. There's a reason that everybody's all screwed up. There's a reason that everybody's got, cholesterol issues and diabetes and, plus not to mention, on top of that, water. God knows what's in our water. And of course, you want to stay away from all the soda-y, like all the sugary drinks, which are pretty rampant out there. I'm a little surprised how many people drink that stuff these days, considering what we know. Maybe they don't know. I mean, how could they not know? I mean, when I was a kid, I had no idea, of course. Nobody ever taught me, said anything about it, but man, it is bad. It's really, really bad. I think it's kind of another pandemic that we're dealing with of sorts, but nobody, people always say, I shouldn't drink it, and then they have it in schools. How can you give it to kids? It's like, yeah, you shouldn't do it, but we're going to go ahead and put it in schools, in vending machines or whatever. It's crazy, guys. Now, this is what I do every morning. It is good. Well, sorry about that, guys. Work calls trying to come in while I'm doing my video. Um, so I guess, yeah, let me see if you have any questions, I guess, while I'm doing this. It's hard to understand because the bag is making noise at the same time as you talk. Oh, okay. Okay, so I showed the label. Okay, Terry says, "Hey Greg, I've got a RO carbon filter for my fish tank. I couldn't believe how much nicer the water tastes just after going through that. So I can't imagine how much better once you distill it." Oh yeah. Gina says, "Good morning." Vincent says, "What is the discount code?" The discount code is Uprising 144K. It's the same name as my channel, and it gives $50, so it's actually a pretty good discount code. And when I find companies like this, I'm just glad that somebody out there is doing that kind of work. They're created a really, really good product. There's so many garbage products out there, guys. I'm so sorry to say it, but it's my opinion. I personally think there's just so much, especially in the health field. It's just gotten crazy, is what it's gotten. And I've done so much homework trying to figure out which ones are the good ones and which ones are the ones to stay away from. And basically, what I've discovered is, and I personally think the majority of the stuff I would, well, I do personally stay away from it. I only use the best, and I also do my absolute best. It's funny, I just had a phone call yesterday, somebody asking me questions about this. Somebody who just takes all sorts of supplements. And my goal is actually the opposite. I don't want a cupboard full of supplements. I want to do my absolute best to minimize and use the absolute least amount of supplements. And so what I really do, if you guys really want to know the routine, it's really easy. First, I clean my water. So it's not that I need a supplement, but I do need a device which to clean my water to the highest degree. I'm telling you right now, clean water is so important. I cannot emphasize it enough. There's too many things in our water that are, in my opinion, not so good. I mean, I have the lab test. I could show you what's in the water. You literally would not believe it. I mean, I was looking at it. I learned stuff, and I knew a lot about water already. I didn't realize that we had radioactive contaminants in our water. I was like, "What in the world? This is what we're drinking?" And what surprised me even more was that the device that I use to filter stuff out actually can get rid of stuff like that. And so that was pretty awesome. But you got to get your water situation right. Now, that's not going to, in my opinion, get rid of a bunch of problems. That's more for preventing issues. And even if you have an issue, you're going to you want to stop bringing into the body what could potentially be making it worse or accelerating how bad the issue is. So that's why I always do the cleanest water. Now, then when hydrogen is like the part that I add, that's the stuff that I've really seen do some magic. Clean water is just like the base, the foundation. It's kind of like pouring a foundation for your house, but when you're pouring the foundation, you want to make sure to have good cement. But, regardless, once you actually are gonna pour it, you have good cement, but you have to actually, have a good design and do the job right to have a good foundation for your house or whatever. And so it's ingredients, products to clean the water. These things are important. And all I really get, I mean, all I really have is I get the make the really clean water. Once I get the device, I mean, my device is extremely reliable. Haven't had any issues. And as long as you just have to learn how to take care of some of this stuff. But the good news is the ones I've chosen are not only really good, but they're actually really easy to care for. So that's the first thing. And then put the hydrogen in it. My hydrogen generator is also extremely reliable and easy to care for. And then I just get those powders and make these smoothies. And beyond that, I mean, I'll use like that's. I mean, I'll just ask. That's the majority of what I do. It's really not super complicated. It's pretty simple. I only have, well, if you guys ever watch my videos, I don't have a ton of products because I don't want a ton of products. I don't want to have to keep buying stuff all the time. And I got to figure out a way to be, you know, semi-sustainable. The one thing I have to just buy regularly, which is obviously food. I mean, you're going to have to buy food. And that's the purium powder. That purium powder, I have it on a 1 month order thing where I just order it every month. And I just ran out today, as you guys saw. And in fact, I got an email, I think it was this morning actually, that said, your purium order is on its way. And I'll tell you one thing, it really is tracking it really well because when I order, I guess just about enough for a month because I keep getting stuff every month. And that's the one thing I do have to, repeat. There's just certain things in life that you'll have to do that with. So, okay, let's see if you guys have any questions while I'm trying to make this here. Wow, Greg, amazing to cure diabetes. I'm not saying, never use the word cure, and it does depend what type of diabetes. Same as a channel name, always the same code. Yep, Uprising 144K. Can you use the code more than once? That I don't know. I'm not sure. I think so. I believe you can every time you order, I believe, but I'm not sure. I don't really actually know. I tend to focus, I'm not even really good with the discount codes. I try to get them because it gives you guys discounts, and I want to be able to, if people are listening, I want them to have a discount. Sometimes they support the channel, sometimes they don't, but that's not really the important part. The important part is find good stuff, and everything that I show you guys, I do myself, just so you know. So it's not like I don't tend to talk about things that I don't know anything about or that I don't believe in, obviously. Everything that I show you guys is what I do. And I think that's the simplest way to do it. That's why I do it that way. Okay, let's get some more vegetables in us and some secret ingredients, stuff that people are like, are you seriously going to put that? You know what? Oh my gosh, can you believe this, guys? I'm out of ginger too. Am I out of ginger? Really? Boy, I am out of a lot of stuff. This is getting interesting. Okay, we're going to make a different smoothie type of today, guys. I'm going to use some of these leaves from my beets. Got a lot of, we're going to make things a little different today. Just a little bit because we're out of some stuff. But I will go grocery shopping today. Most likely, if I get a free chance. Things have been so busy, that's why. It's actually why I didn't get a chance to go grocery shopping yesterday. I was supposed to go yesterday. And I've just been so busy working that I didn't get a chance. I couldn't. It was a hectic day. Okay. I love these beet leaves, and they're really good for you. In fact, I did on one of our last videos, we read together what some of the health benefits of these leaves are. Now, some of these look terrible, so I'm just going to put those in the compost pile. Let's grab some good-looking ones. And I like the stems. Look at that. Pretty. So pretty. Look how beautiful these vegetables are. They're like plants. Wait, they are plants, you dummy. They look like plants, guys. Ah, you silly, silly man. Okay, let's see here. Which one do we want to cut today? I think I'm going to cut this one. All right, that should be enough. Okay, let's make some space here. All right, showing you how to do this. Okay, let's see. Can you send the code? Can you use a code? Hi from Norway. Hello from Norway. Okay, why don't we first wash these leaves and put those in there too? Yeah, so the real secret, in my opinion, is really pretty simple. One, you got to have clean water. You just got to have clean water. Sorry, you're just not going to be able to get the body all nice and clean because the body requires water. So, if you're going to have water, might as well be really clean water. Then, hydrogen is like the super secret. Hydrogen is just ridiculously amazing. So that's that. Some people are like, oh, they can't do the hydrogen. Well, when you can't do it or you don't want to spend the money, then the next thing is lots of fiber. from fruits and vegetables, not just a fiber supplement. Please do not mistake a fiber supplement for using actual food like fruits and vegetables. It's just not the same. The fiber's not the same. It's not the same. That's all I can tell you. The fiber from fruits and vegetables, there's data coming out about this. They're definitely different. So I use fruits and vegetables. The biggest issue is, how do you consume the amount that you need? Well, let me tell you something. It's extremely hard, apparently. Almost borderline impossible, which is why I create the impossible smoothie. This guy. All these fruits and vegetables jam pack in here. So that's why I load up on the hydrogen clean water in the morning. That's how easy it is. And then I have this smoothie. That's it. I mean, beyond that, yes, I eat a healthy lifestyle, but I know people who don't. They just can't. They're like, no, I just can't do it. Well, if you can just do the hydrogen water and this, I personally think it'll make smoothies. I just think it'll make such a difference. Okay, here we go. These are sprouted with hydrogen clean water. These are broccoli sprouts, broccoli seed sprouts or whatever. Highly anti-cancerous. I remember reading a whole thing on this. Stuff's really good for you. So I make it, sprouted those. And the reason I use hydrogen water is just because, well, if you guys have ever seen the data, it appears to enhance whatever food it's soaking in, basically fruits and vegetables. Don't know if it would enhance a steak. I've never soaked a steak, but steak doesn't really have fiber, so I tend to try to stick with foods with lots of fiber. Okay, raisins soaked in hydrogen water. Not a lot of raisins today. That's okay. We do what we can. I should probably soak some for tomorrow. See, if I don't do it right now, I end up forgetting. So, okay, let's soak some. I don't know if I'm going to have enough hydrogen water for all this stuff. We just use up what we got, and then we do the best we can. Now, why raisins? Well, raisins are technically have natural boron in them. I like to get natural boron. It's really good for regulating what they call sex hormones, but they're also good for bones, ligaments, and brain health, and apparently even good for libido. So raisins have a lot of interesting attributes, but then I like to enhance them because they're dried. And when they're dried, they rob the body of water. So what we do is we soak them in water. If you have clean water, that would be ideal. And if you have hydrogen water, even better in my opinion, in these dry foods, and transform them into super foods. There you go. So we got that going. Okay, next. Walnuts, highly anti-cancerous. Again, interesting thing about that particular study is that it was the whole walnut. They tried to do extracts of the walnut, like the oils and stuff. It did not work for the cancer cells. So that's why I'm really big into the whole foods, all the fiber. They all seem to work synergistically. The fiber, the enzymes, phytonutrients. There's something about the way that nature created these things, and it just seems to work best. So that's what I do. In fact, you know what? We're going to have a lot of walnuts today. Holy cow, look at this. I can tell already this is not a normal amount that I would put in. But why not? Because today I'm running low on certain ingredients. So that's what I do sometimes. Lots of protein. And again, nuts are dried too. And when they're dry, they rob your GI of water. And believe me, you want a lot of water. I mean, notice the difference between an adult and a child. Like a child is made up of way more water than an old person, and the old people are tired, everything's not working right. Hydration is a huge part to health, guys. It really is that simple. And obviously we've known about hydrogen water enhancing hydration, in my opinion. I think there's data on that though. And I'm going to soak some more walnuts here, and that's pretty much the end of them. I really do have to go grocery shopping today. And I'm going to soak these again, either in clean water or hydrogen water if you have access to it. I personally believe that it enhances the nuts also. So, because I just think food was designed by nature, by God, whatever you want to believe. I believe that food was designed to actually have a lot of hydrogen in it. That's why it's so natural for it to just soak it all up. Now, more water content. Again, you're going to be noticing this pattern. Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to bring in one of my favorite ingredients because, well, for one, they've been shown to be extremely good for you, and they taste really good. The only problem is they tend to be quite expensive. However, I found a place where they're not so expensive. And because of that, I can afford to do it daily, and that's blueberries. Super good for your vascular system, but they have a lot of other things in them that are quite good for you. There's been a lot of good data in regards to blueberries. Yikes. Let's see. Is that enough? You know, it doesn't look like what I normally put in there. I'm going to put a little more. There, that's good enough. Yes, blueberries. The darker the color, I like them, you know, when the blueberries, the beets, you know, these very, very colorful fruits and vegetables. There's interesting properties to them, apparently, with the color. But, you know, to me, they just taste good. They have fiber, they have water. I know they're good for you. Okay, let's pour hydrogen water now into this smoothie. Or you can do clean water if you don't have hydrogen water. And you have to do it as you go. If you don't do it as you go, you're going to have a problem. Your blender will not work. Just look at how much stuff I'm putting in this smoothie. And people have oftentimes asked me, or they've tried to make the same smoothie, like, my blender won't blend it up. And then I'm like, well, you didn't do it right. They're like, what do you mean? I watched your video. You know, and then they realize that I'm doing something a little different. And that's where you have to pay attention. Oh, this is weird. My scooper. Where was it? Oh, it's part of this Purium thing. I like to keep my scooper in here. Okay. Boy, that smells good though. I gotta tell you, this Purium stuff smells so good. I mean, it smells like just fresh food. I love it. Okay, now let's move on to this little leftover beets I had from yesterday. And let's just go ahead and put those in there. And one of the things I like about beets, and more than one vegetable in here, is that the body helps the body produce nitric oxide. I know, nitric oxide. And you combine that with hydrogen. There was even studies on that. I personally think that they did those studies because they saw my videos. And they're like, oh, let's do that study. And they did. And what did it show? Amazing. So good for you, hydrogen and nitric oxide. There you go. So now we got proof, huh? But see, that's the thing. A lot of this stuff, I don't need proof. I really don't. Some of this stuff is so basic to me. It's like, I need proof that clean water is good for me. It's like, I don't need proof of that. I know clean water is going to be good for me. I know I mean, some things, I really honestly think that some things, it's almost borderline ridiculous because I just know. I mean, how could you not know at some point? Some things are just basic. Now, I knew the fiber was good for the body. I will tell you that the studies have shown me that, oh my gosh, it's way more important than I even knew. More important than I realized. Fiber. Oh, unbelievable, guys, what it does for the body. You really need to get a lot of fiber in you. You know, and everything you try to do it to the cleanest. You know, no chemicals in your foods, no pesticides, no chemicals in your hydrogen, no lye or, yeah, cheap metals, no chemicals in those powders. I've seen powders with chemicals. You know, you just have to keep everything really clean. And believe it or not, it's gotten kind of tricky to be able to achieve that. Okay, let's go with the beet next. Beet next. Oh, let me check if you guys have any questions. Sorry, as I'm going on here. Okay, online Japanese supermarket is how I get my Japanese food here in the UK. Hey, there you go. I will try. Any links? It's ishoppurium.com. I mean, the links, I think I have them on some of my videos. Yeah. Sorry, no good at links. No problem. Okay. So now let's cut up these beets. Shall we? We shall. Let's just do one. Today I'm going to cut about, I already put some in there, so I'm going to go with like this amount of beets. Normally I'd put a little more than that, but that's because I already put some in there. You know what, let's make some room here. Let's put this away. So yes, it is so hard to get enough of this stuff in your body. And I just found that this little trick, you know, this little trick that I created, I guess, of, you know, making this smoothie has been completely helpful. I mean, really, really, really helpful. and for regulating blood glucose and for the nutrients, the way that they're being absorbed. And let's see here. Let's try to I'm trying to cut out some of these little bad spots. And here we go. Let's get some of these little spots off of here. And I love beets. They're very sweet. They're crunchy. Some people like them cooked. They're okay. When they're cooked, they're okay. I'm actually not that crazy about them when they're cooked, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's better for me when they're cooked, but I like them when they're raw, and like I said, they kind of have a sweetness to them. They give the smoothie nice color. And here we go. Put some beets in here. And you know what? They're inexpensive. Beets are not, between beets and carrots, and the expensive stuff is like the berries, like blueberries. That's kind of one of the more expensive things. I think I'm going to make a special smoothie here coming up soon. In fact, I should just make it into a video, because I want to add some stuff. There's some stuff that I would add in here every day, but it also gets a little spendy. And I like to change it, but one of the special ingredients, I don't know if I should tell you guys what it is or if I should just show you later when I make the video. Okay, here's a special ingredient though. And are these spendy? Yeah, I guess you could say they are, but they're just too good. They're just too good for you. I gotta eat this stuff every single day. And that is natto. This is garbage though. I'm throwing this away. That's got processed sugar and garbage in it. I am not gonna be eating that. Okay, Budokai says, been on the smoothies for a week, plus taking Root Wellness Clean Slate and Restore. Crazy how clean my body is getting. Toilet not pretty in the morning. Frozen organic blueberries are far more reasonable than fresh. Yes. Yes. Yeah, glad you enjoyed the smoothies. I mean, the fiber, guys, fiber does so many things. It helps. My gosh. Okay, it appears to help regulate blood glucose. So that's one really important thing. I'm finding that it helps with the absorption of the nutrients. I also think it hydrates you personally. And it really helps keep like your GI system clean. So the nut that we have to stir it to activate it, I'm supposed to stir it 100 times or more. I don't typically count. Well, I do when I'm not making a video. When I'm making the video, I don't count. You can tell as you activate it by doing this that it begins to get foamy, and that's actually what you want. You want the natto to get foamy. Now, natto is rich in vitamin K, which is extremely good for you. And it actually smells good. I'm really falling for natto. It has a really wonderful enzyme called nattokinase in it. And yes, I know all about that. No need to say certain things about it, because we don't have free speech. I'm sure you guys know that. But it's also got lots of fiber, so more fiber. It's got a lot of protein, so there you go. Protein from a plant source, like beans. That's where I like to get mine primarily. It's got really good minerals in it. It's a natural statin, so it thins the blood a little bit. So be cautious if you're on any statins if you're going to eat this stuff, because consult with your physicians, but most doctors don't really understand natto. Look how foamy it is. It's perfect. Look at that. It's the way it should be right there, guys. And people think it's got a funny taste. Yeah, it does. But when I put in the smoothie, you basically can't taste it. So that's the whole reason that I invented this, so people could figure out a way to get this in their body who just can't stomach the flavor. And voila, you know what? Like kids, no joke. I've literally have shared this smoothie with so many kids. When friends bring their kids over or something, and I'm like, well, you guys want to try the smoothie? And the parents are usually like, they're not gonna like that. And then they drink, and the kids are like, oh, I like that, mommy. Can you make that? No joke, guys. I've seriously have seen that more than once, and it always surprises me. I always thought there'd be some kid that'd be like, I don't like it, but so far, batting 1,000. One of these days, some kid will come along and say, I don't like it. But actually, everybody I've ever had try this smoothie, I haven't had one person that says they didn't like it yet. Everybody likes it. The only problem is, for some reason, everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to make it. I've had people try to come over regularly and just get the smoothie when I'm making it. And it's like, guys, at some point, you have to, I don't know. I don't want to say take self-responsibility. I don't know if that's the right word. All I'm trying to get at is that at some point, you have to just get in a routine and like take care of yourself, you know, because nobody's going to do it for you unless you're rich and you have a butler or something, you know, but you're just going to have to get in a habit. This is the habit that I created for myself. And I got to say, you know, am I surprised? Honestly, yes. I did not think that, I never thought I'd be this kind of person. I never thought I'd be a health person. I was never into it, never cared. Um, and I'm very surprised that I have a routine like this. The biggest thing is that I just can't go without my smoothie. What the heck else am I going to eat in the morning? You know, it just doesn't, nothing feels right. You know, this stuff feels so good. I've had people who don't eat this stuff in the morning. They start having my smoothies regularly. Like they'll come over for like a week or something. And then they're just like, I can't stop eating this stuff. You know, I want, and then I'm like, well, you got to learn how to make it. And then when they either go back home or move back or whatever, wherever they were at, they do stop making the smoothie. Some people try to continue, but a lot of people stop having the smoothie and they're like, man, I really miss it. I'm like, well, why don't you make it? Well, I've been too lazy. I'm like, well, there you go. You feel great, but it's not enough for you to really try to make those changes. But you know what? I mean, I get it. I just don't think this, I mean, if it was juicing, oh man, I've done that. That's a nightmare. I used to juice. It takes forever. It turns out fiber is good for you actually anyway. It's better for you to do smoothies than juicing. In fact, there was a study I think that recently came out about it. All right, celery is next. And so you just have to take 20 minutes and make a smoothie every morning. That's what I do. Um, I will say it's a lot easier too when you, I mean, the other easy one is I've known people, my dad's actually a really good example. He didn't want to do all this stuff and he just drank the clean water. Of course, I actually bought him one of those carbon distillers and the hydrogen machine. And he just drinks clean water in the morning. He doesn't want to do the smoothies or any of this stuff. And it worked really good for him for a very long time. Pretty impressed. I'm actually surprised how good it worked. I didn't think it'd work as good as it did because my dad had all sorts of issues, especially arthritis being the most painful one. But you know, he really went hog wild though. He really, he probably wouldn't be too happy me talking about him. You know, I just wish he ate better. You know, but I wish that for everybody. I want everybody to eat better and feel better. It's not just that I want them to eat better. I want people to feel better. You know, people to be happier. That's what I really like. I like when people are happy because I believe that happy people affect other people's happiness and that just spreads more happiness throughout the world. And that ultimately would be one of my goals. I want everybody to be happy. Okay, then maybe people wouldn't be hurting each other so much. Maybe, I don't know. Just a thought. Okay, let's put a little bit more hydrogen water in here. If you notice, the hydrogen or clean water, but if it's hydrogen, it'll be soaking into these fruits and vegetables. But remember, the right type of hydrogen water. If you don't have the right kind, me personally, I wouldn't even use it. I think that it can be more detrimental than good if it's not made right. So just like well, filtered water is not quite the same. Even if you don't have the best filter, you're better to filter out some of the stuff. But some of these hydrogen ways of making the water, my goodness, I would not be doing. You just try to do it cheap, you know? Cheap metals, chemicals, pills, all these weird stuff that hydrogen is supposed to be extremely clean. It's a very, very pure substance. And it's actually tricky. It's not easy to make it super clean. I think that's the problem. When something is difficult, everybody wants, you know, all these businesses want to cut corners or try to make more profits, and that's what they do. I've seen that a lot in the supplement world, and I've noticed that unfortunately, it kind of sucks, but the stuff that's really, really good, like when I find something really good, yeah, they're a little more expensive. And when I really dig into it, what I even discover is that the companies tend to make less profit too. So they have a really high-end product that's really good, but yet they're actually making less profit because it just costs more to do it right. And that's one thing I've discovered, you know. And for like organic farmers, it's going to cost them more. Though I think that if everybody did it, the prices would probably level out. But there's just a lot of companies that don't want to do that. You know, they want to make their stuff in China. They want to use cheap crap. And so that's what they do. But, oh well, that's life, right? Just have to find the good stuff if that's what you want, and that's what I've been looking for. And I gotta tell you, it's taken me years to really perfect all this. Now we're putting hydrogen chia seeds in here, soaked in really, really clean water and properly made hydrogen, of course. So there you go. Those have even more fiber, more minerals, more protein, omegas, the whole gamut. Okay, I think we're almost done here, guys. And then I got some magic ingredients. I'm going to show you how to get absorption. This is one of the reasons I think the doctor who called me, who saw my blood work, and they were like, how are you getting your blood to look like this? Well, watch my videos, dude. Because this is actually exactly how I'm about to show you guys. One, I already loaded up on the hydrogen water, empty stomach. That's what I did in the morning. And now we're about to load up on fiber from lots of fruits and vegetables. And then I'm going to add these special nutrients. See, that's the part where the doctor was having a hard time. They're like, wait a second, how are you getting this amount of absorption? Well, you got to keep your system clean. When your system is cleaner, you absorb nutrients better, by the way. You don't want a bunch, like, especially in your GI system. And then you have a lot of fiber and also well hydrated. And in my opinion, the hydrogen too. So all these things work together synergistically to really get good absorption. But I'll show you some other little things here in a second. I'm literally about to add this stuff. And is this enough? Is this enough? I feel like I could just fit just a little bit more carrot. So I'm going to. I like to put as much as I possibly can into this smoothie, as if you couldn't tell. And I really got to remind myself to go grocery shopping today. Really, really need these greens. I'm going to be all out tomorrow. I just know it. I probably won't even have the powdered for tomorrow. That'll be like the first day in I don't even know how many years that I haven't made a smoothie with my powder. But see, nutrients, by the way, load up in your body. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. So does hydrogen. So it loads up in your body. And so if you go a day without it or something, no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm going to be fine, you know. But I really like my body to have all its nutrients loaded up. I'm actually been prepping my body for, well, I probably shouldn't talk about it too much really, but I'll just say I've been prepping it for a fast of sorts. It's not a normal fast. It's going to be a very, very kind of specific, special kind of fast, and the body needs to be ready. If my body ain't ready, I don't think it's going to go too well. You gotta load up on nutrients when you fast, because fasting really depletes you, and that is one of the dangers. You do not want to be depleted of your nutrients. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Budokai says, haha, yeah, my diet has been fairly healthy for 15 years, been slacking for the past year. Now very happy with how light and energetic my body feels again. Awesome. Solomon says, hey, Greg, wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks for another live video. You're welcome. Budokai says, hydrogen man helped me get to this point. Having lots of injuries in my body that heals slow. Hydrogen may be the element to help my healing accelerate faster. Yeah, I've seen data. The data appears to triple the speed, by the way. So what could take potentially 3 days could take 1 day. What could take 3 months could potentially take a month, maybe a month and a half. Stuff like that. That's just what I personally have read, and my personal opinion too, and a lot of my experiences myself. So glad that you guys are enjoying these videos. They're pretty simple, right? I mean, nothing. It's not particularly complicated. Okay, let's put in some more magic ingredients. Okay, so the last of the water. So fill it up to the top is how I do it. So I'll show you guys here. If you notice, this thing is now full of water to here. And then let's add one of my magic ingredients. Trace minerals without the salt. So you get the minerals without the salt in it. That's better, by the way. I know some people think salt's good for you. Be very cautious. The data's pretty clear that we don't really need a ton of salt. But the minerals is where the magic's at. Okay, about to make some noise, and I'm going to take this compost while I'm making all this noise. Okay, my apologies beforehand. But let's just see if this thing blends. Do you really think it'll even blend? It's so jam-packed. Let's see what happens. Look at that. It appears to be blending. So let's do that. Let's let that thing blend. And we're going to add some more magic ingredients here in a second. for proper nutritional levels in our blood. So, and then I like to stop it periodically, let everything settle down for a moment because sometimes it chops everything up. And then I'm gonna get some hydrogen water in jars and get this thing rolling. All right. Let's do this one more time. It's looking pretty good though. We're gonna add just a little bit of water. You don't have to, but I mean, I already drank a ton of it in the morning, and now I'm going to inhale it also while I eat. But I like to cut the jars for just a little bit. And then I got some magic ingredients I'm gonna add to this because the fiber helps them be even more magical. So last mix, and here we go. All right. And that should be good enough. Okay. Let's go ahead and got a bunch of stuff in the sink here. Okay. Let's go ahead and pour only half of the jar, and I'll show you why. Wow, this thing's full. Okay. Let's go half. Oh yeah, very different today. I didn't have any of that, It's interesting. We'll see how it tastes today. We'll see if it tastes different because everything's just a little different today. I like the color though. Look at the color. Very bright red. I think a lot of it was those beet leaves. And it tastes kind of earthy. Actually tastes pretty good. Okay, guys. First magic ingredient. Absolutely necessary, in my opinion, for healthy bones, healthy ligaments, I think brain health. Oh, it says heart health and immune system. And actually libido also. And I think so many things that we don't even know about just yet. And that's vitamin D3 with K2. Absolutely necessary. Cannot live without vitamin D. I will always have to take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go with 6. That's just a little over 5,000 IUs. And if you notice, I don't like to take pills as much as I like liquids because if you notice, it's ionic. And ionic is the second best way to get nutrients from what I've discovered compared to the very first one, which is always food, but it's basically impossible to get enough vitamin D through your food. This next one is empty, and that's boron. But you know what? Let me see if I have any more boron. Thought I did. That's another empty bottle. I've been going through the boron lately, I gotta tell you. I'm digging it. Ooh, is that another one? Did I find some? Nope, that's an empty bottle. Dang. I really have been going through this stuff. Do I not have one more bottle? I could have sworn. I found it. A bottle of boron, ionic. Yay, guys. Yippee-ki-yay, yay. I got one, and it's ionic. This is going to be my last one. Gosh dang it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. All these little bottles are the same size, but I'll gotta say the boron is the one that goes the quickest. Ionic boron. Really good for your bones, ligaments, brain health, and sex hormones for both men and women. I did my own little experiment with this guy, and it's impressive. So here we go. Let's put a little boron in here. Boron. I'll just do one of those 1 milligram because I'm gonna have to try to stretch that out a little longer. And this one is one that I never really put in my smoothies, but I gotta say I'm really digging it. The company actually sent me this one, and I was like, all right. I tend to just use what I like to use, but that's chlorophyll. And from food, guys, because look at this stuff. It is just pure green. It looks black. It's so green. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And this one just lasts forever. Just one bottle. Love it though. It makes it feel like very earthy and chlorophyll, like lots of vegetables. And I like my veggies. And here we go. We're going to try this. We're going to put a few more magic ingredients. And then I'm done. And then I'm going to eat it. Or drink it. All right, so my smoothie still tastes fantastic, even if I didn't have all my ingredients. Okay, that one will be for later. Later, gator. Mater. Mater. I like that tow truck mater. He's so funny. Okay, this one is like a multivitamin, but all it is hemp hearts. But again, if you were to look at the nutritional label on these suckers, it is so impressive, and all it is hemp hearts. Anything with more, it's the most well-balanced omegas apparently in the world from my understanding, omegas 3s and 6s. Absolutely amazing, and it tastes great. Probably the only downside of the hemp hearts is they are a little spendy. Organic, if you can find them too, they're really hard to find organic. But I do my best, and gotta love me those hemp hearts. Good stuff. Okay, now let's try it and get our last ingredient. This tastes really different today. Still good though. Hemp hearts. Okay, I'm gonna take out this earpiece, and then maybe I'll answer some questions, and then I'm gonna get to work, and maybe get some grocery shopping in if I can. Okay, last magic ingredient: hydrogen. Inhale hydrogen while I drink this wonderful smoothie. Let's take out this earpiece. All right. Let's see what questions you might have. Okay, let's see. Okay. Terry says, first film reference I got. Oh, Die Hard? Yeah, that's true. That is the first one you got. Yippee-ki-yay! I didn't even try to do one on them. Just tuned in. Who is dying hard? Okay, Budokai says, taking those trace minerals and also added their liquid multivitamin. 2 flavors available. Thanks for teaching us about boron and others. You're very welcome. Okay, I guess that's all your questions. So I'm just enjoying my smoothie. Let's see here. Let's find out. Let me Google this real quick. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm right, because there was something I'm pretty sure I'm probably not right about. What is the most well-balanced omega 3 to 6 foods? Okay, let's see here. Wow. You guys want to see something hilarious? The most well-balanced omegas is important, by the way. You really want well-balanced protein. Okay, well, what are they? The best ones in the world? Chia seeds. Those are already in the smoothie. Hemp hearts. Those are already in my smoothie. And walnuts. Those are in my smoothie. They are the only, literally the only seeds or nuts with a super good ratio of omega 3s to 6s. Papayas are high in omegas 3s and 6s also, but apparently nuts and seeds are the best. That's kind of wild because I'm not seeing a lot of, I don't see any meat on the list at all. They have mussels. That's funny, I just had mussels the other day. I don't eat a ton of seafood, but once in a while. Broccoli. Flax seeds, that's another one I normally put in here. Lettuce? Lettuce has some of the best ratio, look at that. Greens. Wow, even mangoes and spinach. I put spinach in this regularly too. Interesting. Flax seeds. See, some of the other good ones are snow crab. That's the problem. I don't eat a lot of seafood because of the contaminants. I've seen the studies, and I've known people who, when they eat seafood, their blood looks terrible. That's why I don't eat it a lot. And that's why when I
I eat a lot of, I drink a lot of my hydrogen water to really get that stuff out of my system as far as all the heavy metals. Because, yeah, snow crab, tuna, you know. But yeah, broccoli, spinach, flax seeds, mangoes, lettuce, kidney beans. I bet you natto's, you know what? Natto's probably got a good ratio now that I'm thinking. Let's see here. I'm telling you, these smoothies, guys, they can change a lot of things. Terry C says, hey, Greg, has anyone found a way to avoid paying the import tax for hydrogen machine that you know about? Jeez. In the UK? Yeah, I know, they're crazy. Yeah, you can email me about that, Terry, and I can talk to you on that one. You would need a friend or something in America, I think. Unless some company maybe has those machines in the UK. I'd have to ask. Oh, yummy. Okay, so hemp hearts. Anybody want to hear the benefits? Have we looked up the benefits of hemp hearts? Health benefits of hemp hearts. Incredibly nutritious, reduces or may reduce your risk of heart disease. Wow. Apparently it might be good for certain skin disorders, which, by the way, I need to make a video on this latest testimonial. Blow your guys' mind. I got pictures too. Excellent source of protein. As I said, omega-3s and 6s. Wow. May reduce symptoms of PMS and menopause. Dang. Look at that. Make yourself a smoothie. Health benefits from WebMD. Okay, how good are hemp hearts? Health benefits. They are rich in essential fatty acids, highly, highly nutritious. Excellent for human health. Let's see. Oh, wow, they're even good for digestion. Lots of fiber. Look at that, more fiber. Heart disease, for diabetes, colon cancer, help with constipation, improves heart health, reduces inflammation, good for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, aids in skin health, which has to do with inflammation that is from inflammation can contribute to skin conditions such as acne and atopic dermatitis. Acne may also occur as a result of too little omega-3s in your diet. Some research suggests that increasing omega-3s intake can help reduce the symptoms of skin conditions and improve your skin health. Boy, and the list just goes on and on. And like I said, the nutrients in it, vitamin B vitamins, vitamin E, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, zinc. And all you need is 3 tablespoons. Wow. I think I put probably about that in here. It says you should be cautious if you're on certain medications. I wonder why. I think I know why, but I won't go into it. How to use hemp seeds. We know how to use them. Yummy, yummy. All right, guys. We call it having your plant pulled down, LOL. Pants pulled down. Got no friends in America, they don't like me. Yet he likes you. All right, guys. Well, any tips for good sleep? Actually, yeah, there's a couple of them. I mean, I still always recommend clean water, regardless. I've seen hydrogen help sleep. That's been pretty wild because I didn't see any research studies on that. But I've known people who, when they inhaled the hydrogen at nighttime, they said they sleep better. Even helped some people with insomnia, which is pretty wild. So I think hydrogen makes a big difference. And also that apothecary stuff from iShopurium, that stuff's supposed to be really good for sleep. I've been drinking a little bit at night. I mean, I sleep really great. Mm-hmm. Smuggle your machine from Ireland. So that's what I would do, Karen. Hydrogen, apothecary are two things. Don't ever eat at night either, by the way. The apothecary, you mix it with just a little bit of water, preferably hydrogen water, preferably clean water. And you just drink a little bit down like, I don't know, 2 hours before bed or something. So yeah, that's what I would do. And exercise helps too. I would go for walks. In fact, here, let's see what the health benefits of, I don't know what they call it, apothecary. I don't know why they call it that. How about, let's just put the health benefits of cherry, because that's all it is cherry. Packed with nutrients. Of course, they have certain antioxidants. Lots of fiber, vitamins, minerals, vitamin C, potassium, copper, manganese. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Cherries are good for good regular bowel movements. They also have B vitamins. Wow, they even have vitamin K. Vitamin K is a tough one to get. I don't know how much the Hydrofix is in the UK, because I'd have to ask if there's any companies. I haven't seen any companies carry. Most companies don't want to carry the Hydrofix, I discovered, because they don't make as much profit. You make more profit on the Chinese garbage, and some companies, that's all they care about is profits rather than trying to have a good product. I learned that one not long ago. 600 pounds import tax. I know it's ridiculous. Like I said, email me. I have some ideas. Okay. Rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. Okay. Can boost exercise recovery. Great. May benefit heart health. Great. May improve symptoms of arthritis and gout. Awesome. Here we go. May improve sleep quality. I told you. Cherries. It says here. So you drink that little cherry, pure cherry juice. And it even says that. It says drinking the juice may actually improve quality of sleep. Let's see why they think that. Well, cherries contain natural melatonin. That's interesting. They did a study on 20 people, and they only drank the dark, tart cherry juice. It's a concentrate. That's the one that I get, and it's so good. And I bought other cherry juices. It's not the same. There's something about the way these guys are doing their stuff. I just think they have higher quality standards. And in just 7 days, their body significantly increased melatonin levels, sleep duration, sleep quality as compared to placebo. It works. Wow. Somehow it's unclear whether just eating the fresh cherries would have the same effect, because they do it on the cherry concentrate. So there you go. I think that's an easy one. And I really like that product, actually. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Northern Yeti says, what if it's sewn inside a giant teddy bear? High Country oh, I thought he said just pooped. Just popped in to say, I love my hydrogen water. And there you go, buddy. Glad you like it. Ryan Hardy says, plus tax, worth all the money from the sounds. I appreciate you, bro. Oh, you're welcome. And I mean, it is worth it, but I understand sometimes it's hard for people to afford it. Santa put me forward to you greatness, trying to spread the wisdom, get one myself, love for all, us have, love all us to have one, we all be happy. Yeah, I know, I'd like to see that too. Everybody being happy. Okay, guys, well, I hope this answered everybody's questions today. I need to get rolling. Add more hemp hearts to my smoothie now. There you go, Helen. Cheese, best get saving. Yeah. Well, you know, the good news is, though, is what I've noticed is that if you get a proper hydrogen generator, it's actually cheaper in the long term because of the reliability. And then you actually get the results. I've known people buy the cheap stuff and it breaks. It breaks within a few months or 6 months, and I've seen that, or a year. So anyway, that's what I've seen. So I discovered that spending a little more sometimes is better. It's kind of like buying a quality car that can go a million miles rather than one that will break at 50,000. You know, one of those things. Well, okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. So, yeah, just message me, Terry. We'll talk later. Uprising 144K.